Sorry about that, everyone. I believe we just had, I think, maybe 8 interruption. What happened was I was on my HP laptop, and I just recently upgraded the memory. This was about 2 weeks ago. So 2 weeks ago, I put a new memory. Now I'm not sure if one of the memory's not that great. I forgot what the brand was, but it said from Japan, so I thought it should be great. You know, I'm not sure if it's not that good of a brand or something. Now I've heard that 64-bit computers cause a lot of problems when you put in new memory for quite a while. The HP laptop is, I think, only 4 years old. It's a 64-bit. And I didn't know at first that 64-bit could have problems like that. You know, I got 64-bit for gaming. So I figured since it's a good laptop, I'll use that for streaming. But now that this crash happened, it's happened before. Now I know I'm never going to stream the show with that laptop. That would just be for gaming. That's it. The one that's streaming on this show is the MacBook. Now, this MacBook never gives me problems. So I'm going to be streaming the show from now on this laptop. You know, I don't have any music on this laptop yet because it's got a fresh system restore. A song through YouTube, but it might make it freeze. So we'll just do the rest of the show without the music. I believe I was 15 minutes in. It's going to be 7:24. So and so okay, let me just get back on topic here. I need to pull up this other page now. I have an idea. I'll go ahead and start it from this phone. And so what just happened here was just like it kind of changed the program of the show. You know, I could have deleted that video and start over, but I want the time frame to show that I'm always starting at 7 p.m. So we'll just keep it rolling. I believe it wasn't too long of a delay. So with this other laptop, I'm going to have to slide it to the side so I can see other videos to talk about. You know, a word of caution out there for everyone. 64-bit does crash a lot. It is unstable. It's mainly for gaming, and it mostly happens. It can happen to a lot of computers also when you put in new memory. Be careful if you put in new memory. Know that your laptop could crash from time to time. Now with this laptop, the MacBook, the memory was the same as it came with, so problems there. That was a hassle. I guess, yeah, we could play the music again on that other laptop. So to everyone watching out there, I hope it wasn't that long of a delay. But I almost guarantee that will never happen again. I'm always going to be broadcasting the show on this laptop now, not the other one. Man, don't you hate technology sometimes? I mean, why does stuff always mess up? You know, everything should be perfect, you know? Everything should be perfect. So let me get the music going back real quick. It wasn't that bad. If I would have waited for this other laptop to start up, it would have took longer. and then it would have crashed again maybe. So I believe it wasn't that long of a delay. So we're back on the song here. Okay, this one we're gonna play without the speakers, so just be in the background. Now I hope the music ain't too low or too loud. Okay, a little bit louder. I think right here is good. So let me open up the videos again so I can remember the topics about it. Okay, so that was basically that. Let's get back to the videos real quick. That was the 2012 Mayan UFO horse apparition. The next one is the 4 horsemen of the apocalypse. This happened next to Hillary where she was speaking, but it was behind the group, the large gathering of people. This happened, I just noticed that. I had the microphone in the way. Okay, so this happened behind a group of people that were there to hear Hillary. This was, I think, 2 days before the election. The one just happened of Trump. And she was speaking, and you see like 4 horsemen, one by one, going to the left. And they're going one by one, you know, and like, it's kind of hard to see. You really need to try to see it in order to see it, you know. So they're going one by one. See if I can position the camera a little better. Okay, so they're going one by one, and it looks, you know, amazing, you know, and yeah, you know, they start like bouncing like they're galloping, you know, and they start to disappear before they go towards the end. So one, it cannot be shadows because why would they look like horses? And 2, it would be too far away that it wouldn't cast a shadow on. So I don't believe they were shadows of people. I think they were apparitions. The alien ghost, Apollo EVP, that one, it starts saying like, go back, you know. I really don't want to talk too much about the Rise of Atlantis videos because I already talked about that in the last video. So I was going to do it more in depth, but I figured I've already done it in depth the first time. So I'm just going to glance through them real quick, fill up a little bit of time, and then do a couple of live EVPs. So the alien ghost EVP, I had talked about that one. Okay, the apparition of the Virgin Mary in Vietnam. A lot of people say it could be Jesus, you know, it could be other things, you know, so, you know. Let's see, the next one, the apparitions live on the news. This one showed on 9/11. This one showed the plane, the illuminated before it hit the building, and a mysterious light appears in the front of the airplane. And could this, and there even light appeared in the windows. So could this be a theory that rapture happened on the airplane? I think so. I think maybe God raptured everyone in the plane before it hit. Now you have a lot of people say, "Oh, well, how come there were people in the World Trade Center in the tower?" I don't know. You know, maybe they were raptured also. The people that were jumping, you know, I mean, I don't. It's hard to say why didn't God rapture them. So it could be very hard to say that that light was a rapture. You know. I mean, it could have been the terrorists lit up a bomb, but I doubt it because you would have seen it blow up first before it hit the building. So it makes you wonder, what was that mysterious light? There's also a light that came down from heaven, from the sky, and was showing next to the Pentagon. And it was like a bluish light. The ascension to the heights, its inspiration. The beginning, it showed a bat going to the basketball court, and the Spurs player Manu Ginobili, he got the bat and swung it to the ground. The blog extras, like I said, these videos I'm talking, they're like in ABC order. So that's like one of the last videos. But basically, that one shows, a little bit of everything. It shows, the ghost in the area. I mean, the alien of Area 51. I was messing around with the picture and I put clothes on it, and I put it side to side, looking towards the center, because in the center is it shows the center. It shows it was in Clearwater, Florida. I believe it was 2002, around there, and it was would look like the Virgin Mary. She appeared on a building, and like in multicolor. Now a lot of people were saying, "Oh, it was just chemicals from the soap that made it drip down." But the odds of it forming to a perfect shape like the Virgin Mary are astronomical. 1 in a billion, 1 in a trillion, So I doubt it was chemicals, And the clouds are speaking now. That one shows the U.f.o. over California. The one that was like beaming down light. I think that was in 2011. The coming of the eclipse ellipto talks about eclipses. The crown of Christ Jesus apparition talks about that circular cloud in Russia. The dark horse talks about the dark horse apparition in a thunderstorm in Saudi Arabia. The flight of the navigator talks about how that's that strange story of they said that kid was in a helium balloon or something like that, and it looks identical to that movie, Flight of the Navigator. The next one, The Gathering of the Forces, talked about before Prophet Yahweh passed away. This was the summoners before Robert Bingham, Alfonso Perez, Jim Martin, and them in California. These were the ones before them, before Prophet Yahweh passed away, and they had Serving Yahweh, Yahweh Light, DJ Ice 9, and a couple others. The GMS. The next one, The Global Demonic Attack, talks about like all kinds of blasphemy that celebrities are doing. The Global Pirate Attack talks about file sharing programs, on how it created a lot of crazy material out there, and how a lot of agencies didn't do anything to really put a stop to it before it happened. The good and bad of ugly of entertainment basically talks about more celebrities who are blasphemous, but I think that one goes a little more into detail. The very end of that video talks about, have you guys seen Austin Powers? I'm not sure which one it was, the first or second or third, but at the very, not at the very end, it's that one where Dr. Evil and Mini-Me is sitting on the seat, and Dr. Evil's talking, and Mini-Me is behind Dr. Evil, And when its seat goes up, it throws him up into the air. Remember that scene? That one, when I believe it's Vern is his name that played Mini-Me. He goes up into the air, and then you see what looks like a shadow monkey or like a shadow creature, some kind of animal, and it gets up where the seat was, and then it jumps off the seat and goes into the background, jumps onto something, and you see it disappear. You know, and no one else has seen this. No one else talks about this. I'm the only one, you know. Like I said, with Rise Atlantis, you see the cream of the crop of apparitions. I'm the only one that is blogging about all this. I'm the only one that is the leader in apparitions. The hieroglyphics on the face on Mars. See that one? If y'all haven't heard, there's a face on Mars that looks like it was built by extraterrestrials. And if it is, there was an asteroid that hit the right side of it, because you see a crater on it. And in that crater, you see weird hieroglyphs that I use with Google Mars, and I zoomed in, and you see what looks like an alien holding a letter G with its hand, like saying they believe they are the gods. You see a mermaid, you see aliens walking with children, what looks like a half angel, half alien, you know, with evil eyes. You know, you see a mermaid, I believe I said that. You know, so there's a lot of weird stuff there, you know, and I think they could be carvings from extraterrestrials, you know. That's a fascinating video right there, let me tell you. The next one, the horsemen of the apocalypse in Egypt. That one is showed like there was a horseman, right, in Egypt. And as it moving to the right, you start seeing like other images appearing, like a knight holding a sword and a shield, and then a magician holding an orb. You know, all kinds of things, you know. That's a good one right there. July 2009 events update. That was the second video after I posted the first video, which was a preemptive strike against science. And in this video, the July 2009 event updates, that one shows a cross of light appearing over a roof. And I believe it was Armenia. I believe it was in Armenia. It's by Russia. And there was a second one that happened in Russia. And the next one, the kids of MK Ultra, talks about brainwashing, mind control, and how the government has been using people to do their secret programs, you know, and it's all just brainwashing, mind control, basically. The mothership over Times Square 2012, you see like 4 orbs right here, and they're like appearing, getting bigger, brighter, morphing, disappearing. The next one, the mysterious corruption, talks about more blasphemy in people. That one right there shows an awesome one of, remember Glenn Beck, the Glenn Beck show? There was a few other channels on Fox News where you would hear a mysterious dog howling. You would hear like a dog howling in the background. And I don't think they really had dogs on set on the show. I think that they were ghost dogs. You know, the Bible talks about the hounds of hell. So could it mean that? I think so. The Nostradamus prophecies, it talks about, you know, all kinds of, it predicted 9/11 when he said King of Terror will come from the sky in the 7th month of 1999. Now, even though it wasn't at that same time, it's close enough to 2000 that Nostradamus, you know, pretty much hit the nail on the head. And that nail he hit is on Osama bin Laden. How you like that, terrorist? Oh, man. The next one, the Phantom of the Gulag, talks about like weird EVPs I was hearing when I was watching the news. In the background, you're hearing like these ghosts speaking. That's a good one right there. The preemptive strike against science was my first video. That one talks about a cat born with wings in China. It's probably a hybrid. It talks about the alien ghosts behind George Bush in the window reflection of the White House. Also, a weird alien ghost face appeared behind Barack Obama's neck. And just like a bunch of other things, you know, it talks about like weird signs happening, you know. That's a good one right there. The Russia second Malaysia plane attack. You remember the Malaysia plane that went missing? I think it could be that they were, because the flight pattern that the box tracked it at was going right of Malaysia and coming down and was going to go left. So here's Malaysia, here the plane, I think it was coming like this and was trying to avoid radar detection by going where the ocean is around the country. And I think it was going to swing past Africa and it was going to go hit the New World Trade Center because the flight pattern looks like it's making that path. Now maybe it was going somewhere else, you know, but it was making that flight pattern. Also, the end of that video, it shows, I believe the day after, it was in Zoetermeer, England. You see like two weird orbs go up and it morphs into one orb and it comes back down. And I think that could mean that how the two orbs morph into one is like the plane and it crashing down. I think it could mean that orb right there, I think it could mean that the missing Malaysia plane, the debris is somewhere near Zoetermeer, England, which is to the left of England. But I recently heard that debris that looked like it was from the Malaysia plane was found on Reunion Island. That's kind of by Malaysia. So it's weird. I mean, based on that apparition of the orb, I think it's by Zoetermeer, England. But based on what I heard, where they said that a Reunion Island found debris, I think it could be there. But they've been researching. They've been searching that area in Reunion Island and haven't found anything else. So I think that's weird. The Shining of Our Lord. That one talks about what looked like Jesus holding a scroll next to the Capitol at night. I remember seeing that live, man. The Strike Against Science. That one talks about further apparitions that were appearing in the windows behind the presidents. The Stripe Shirt Gathering just basically means people who, you see, it says in the Bible in Revelation, after everyone's left behind, those that take the mark of the beast will be stung by flying scorpions. But at the same time, those that aren't with the mark of the beast are going to be thrown in a prison or even killed by the rulers of the world after the rapture. So my theory is the mark of the beast could be to tell everyone else, are you for human cloning or against it? And if you're for human cloning, that's when you'll be branded with the mark of the beast to live, coexist with everyone else wishing to clone themselves to live forever and hybriding themselves. That's why they take the mark of the beast. So everyone that doesn't take the mark of the beast is like against all that, you know? So that's why the mark of the beast, everyone who doesn't have it won't be stung by the flying scorpions anymore. But at the same time, that's where the blasphemy of the striped shirts come in, because they say, oh, when we see Jesus returning, that they want to stay behind, that they're not ready to go, they need more time, you know? So they do this blasphemous thing. I had a dream of it where I saw millions and millions of people all wearing these shirts looking at God and say that we don't want to go, we want to stay, you know? So it's crazy, you know? It's a prophecy. and a striped shirt gathering. That's what I think it means. Now, people who wear that shirt and don't know that, then obviously they're not doing it in spite of blasphemy, you know. But that is a real thing, and it's coming soon. The vampire has no reflection. That one showed this guy Jeffrey Zients. He was a healthcare. They called him a czar for Obama, and he was like handling everything in healthcare basically. When he was walking next to Obama, you saw Obama's reflection on the window, but you did not see that guy's reflection. The weapons of mass deception talks about that video right there shows Saddam Hussein's relatives are hunting pork and getting ready to eat it, and you see some guy smoking, and then you hear a voice. Is it a ghost or a person? I think it's a person because the other guy smoking starts laughing, and you hear a voice that says, "Save the race, God Yeshua wouldn't end it." Now, Yeshua is another word for God, and they say save the race. That means like they believe it's the superior race, like Hitler wanted to take out the Jews because he thought that the Germans were superior. So that's how the Muslims see themselves, that they're superior, and they want every other race to die. That's what they call their jihad, you know. So he says, save the race, God Yeshua wouldn't end it. And mocking Jesus, saying that he's never returning, that God Yeshua wouldn't end it. Completely, you know, obviously mocking Jesus' return, you know. So when people say, oh, Saddam didn't have anything to do with 9/11, I think he did, you know, because even though they said they didn't find weapons of mass destruction at the time, they've been finding weapons later on, you know. So Saddam wasn't a good guy, you know, and his relatives were very blasphemous, and that video right there proves it. The Wizard of Signs, Oswald. If y'all have you heard of that hanging munchkin in the background of the movie The Wizard of Oz? I looked into it and zoomed all the way in, and it looks like a shadow because you see it morphing, changing shape, stretching down. So I think it's an apparition. Now, they changed the movie. The original showed it, but the new one, they completely removed that, and then they put like a giant bird stretching its wings, you know. So I think that was an apparition. The next one, the apparitions at the Vatican. That one's an awesome one because someone takes a picture, and then the flash of light in the shadow of a priest behind him, the shadow, it picks up like a face. And the face is appearing in a shadow where the shadow should be. And this was in a flash of light from a camera. So could that priest have been involved in the scandal? I think so. And the last one is the urban takeover from on high. That one's all pure inspiration. It just shows how it looked like when Jesus returning. So I was gonna use my iPhone to show the EVP, but it's gonna take too long to start up. We only got 10 more minutes now, so we'll go ahead and use this other phone, a Droid. We have this EVP app called EVP. It's called ADV, and it's also called EVP Voice, but it goes by ADV. It's red letters that say ADV in a circle, so look for that one. That's one of the best ones. On the iPhone, I use GhostCom. That's one of the best ones. So, in ADV, you pick up sensibility to 70%, accuracy to 20%, and then you click the microphone icon. We'll go ahead and turn the music off here now, because when we record EVPs, we need it to be complete silence. The ghosts, they speak. They always whisper. Now, you can pick up ghosts with actual audio recorders, but they always are heard on playback at full blast volume. So with this app right here, instead of having to hear the white noise all the time going deaf, you could just use this app and it reads out what it hears in the whispers and reads it out. Now this app is good to use all the time. If you use the EVPs, the actual ones, the audio recorders all the time, you'll go deaf. That is good just to get your proof. You can really see proof that it is real, you know. And once you have that proof, knowing it's real, you can start using these so you don't have to go deaf. So we'll go ahead and do like a few here. We have enough time to do maybe 4 or 5, so we'll get it going. I forgot to lower this one. See, you need to lower your phone all the way low because it talks it out. Let me go ahead and click cancel. This is how it looks. Click that red button. Okay, now the words we got. To check the words on the middle icon here, you slide all the way to the right and select the icon that looks like a paper, and the bottom one's the newest one. We got the words nail drives out nail. Now what does that mean? Is it mocking Jesus on the cross? Nail drives out nail. And the next word, dude. What does dude mean? It's not like dude like D-U-D-E. It says dude like D-E-W-E-D, like Mountain Dew, you know, like some kind of water or something. The next we have cornetcy. Cornetcy, C-O-R-N-E-T-C-Y. I have no idea what this means. Cornetcy. Now, sometimes these words, they sound and they rhyme like something else. So when you have a hard time trying to understand what that word means, think about something else that it rhymes with, like cornetcy, energy. I mean, who knows? The next word, pinkster, P-I-N-K-S-T-E-R, pinkster. You know, what does that mean? And the last one says text us, T-E-X-T-U-S, like text us. Could be maybe saying Texas. I am in El Paso, Texas. So maybe it could be meaning that. We'll go ahead and do another EVP. EVPs are short for electronic voice phenomenon. And we'll go ahead and do another 90 seconds. You can select it by 90 seconds, 120 seconds, and 600. So we'll do another minute 20 seconds. Actually, minute 30 seconds. Here we go. Okay, so the words we got here was we got the words nitro. Second word eardrop. Third word embowed. Fourth word croon. Fifth word creditors. Then kala. Then cabin. Then mortal sin. Then soder. Then proboscus. Then democracy. Now, what does all this mean? It's hard to piece all this together because a lot of this doesn't make sense. Sometimes when you see it, you're like, this don't mean anything. Then in the coming days, something can happen that relates to this. So always keep in mind that it could mean something that's soon to happen. And nothing here says anything really, um, nothing here really stands out that much. We'll go ahead and do one more, and then we'll end the show for today. This is the first time that there was an 8-minute pause in the show. It's not going to happen again because I'm going to run the show on this laptop, not the other one. See, the memory issue was causing it on that other one. So we'll do one more, and we'll end the show. Okay, so the words we got was Baptist, then legan, then Latin, then slocer, then aqua, then pawns, then foul, then manipulative, then sawing, then barbery. Now, what does all this mean, right? I mean, so many random words, you know. Baptist, legging, Latin, slocer, aqua, pawns, foul, manipulative, sewing, barbery. I mean, it's hard to piece all this together, you know. This word slocer sounds like saucer, maybe, like flying saucers. I mean, dang, I really don't know what to make. What did the first one say again? See, Nitro. This was the first one, right? Nitro eardrop. Huh. Well, that's it. I mean, I hope I can receive predictions using that method, and hopefully, if I have so much people tuning in, so much energy building up, hopefully God can bless me in receiving divine revelations and divine prophecies and predictions. So I hope that this here can build up to a crescendo. Um, I hope this show can make it to the top of the top. Please like, share, and subscribe. Tell everyone you know to like, share, and subscribe as well. Thank you. This is Gabriel signing off. God bless.